Let me know when you're recording.
I'm recording.
Okay, so when you enter the truck, you want to tell the examiner I'm using 3 points of contact as I'm entering the truck. And you can go ahead and adjust your seat as needed, and your wheel. This one here, you can just push that pedal down right here and then move this to wherever you need it. And it does telescope. Okay. Then the next thing you want to do is grab your belt. Tell the examiner it's securely mounted, not ripped, torn, or frayed. And it does latch and unlatch properly. And I'm going to leave it off. And then you would ask them to please put their seat belt on as well. Next, we want to build some air pressure up. So next thing we want to do is a safe start. Truck in neutral. Well, first let's get the key on, let the gauges cycle. And then truck in neutral, clutch in. Once the gauges are done, then you can start the truck. But you'd also want to mention at this point too that my ABS light went on and off. Now for this, the ABS light is not connected because we don't have ABS on the trailer. So we use our wheel spin light, and it does go on and off. Just mention it and you'll get your point. And then once all that's taken care of, we can go ahead and start the truck up. And we want to build up some air pressure, so we'll idle it up. Now if your air pressure is up too high, the compressor is not going to kick on, and you can tell that it's not pumping right now because the gauges are staying stationary. So you might want to just, tap it down a little bit, get the air pressure down, and then go ahead and turn it back up. And you want to watch your gauges and make sure that they are climbing. And come on. They're still not climbing, so I'm going to pump the air pressure down a little bit more and get it to kick on here. There we go, it's starting to climb now. At least I think they are. I think this compressor needs to be replaced on here. It is climbing, but very, very slow.
For the tester, the state only allows you to rev it up to 900 RPMs to build air.
No, that's just company policy. We could actually go up a little higher, but now they're starting to climb. I got it right at about 1,000 RPM right now. Now the next thing we want to do is wait for the governor to spit, because they want you to have full air pressure before you start your brake test.
Okay.
Now normally we could be doing some in-cab inspection while the pressure's building, but I really don't want to get out of rhythm. You want to stay with the rhythm, make sure you don't miss nothing. So,
Okay.
I'm going to perform the first phase of the brake test first. And we have a little poem once the governor spits. We call it the 1, 2, 3 ALE. There goes the governor. So now we perform our 1, 2, 3. So 1 is we want to put it in first gear. 2, shut the key off, let the motor die, and then turn the key back on. And this is going to serve as our parking brake, because now we have to release our parking. That's our 3. So it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we're ready to perform the ALE. And so you want to explain to the examiner, I'm going to perform the applied brake test. And what I'm going to do is hold the pedal down for 60 seconds. And I should not lose more than 4 PSI over that 60-second period. So I'm going to apply my brake. I'm going to let my gauges settle. And then I'm going to start my time for 60 seconds. On your test, you're going to have to go the full 60 seconds. But for practice, we're just going to pretend we did our 60 seconds. And then tell the examiner I did not lose more than 4 PSI over that 60-second period. Next, what I'm going to do is perform the L, which is the low pressure warning system. And the way that works is I'm going to fan my brakes down, and at 60 PSI or a little above, my low pressure warning light and buzzer should come on. Okay, one more time. Okay, now I'm going to tell the examiner my pressure is a little above 60 PSI and my low pressure warning light and buzzer did come on. So that passes that test. Next, we're going to perform the E, which stands for my emergency spring brake test. I'm going to continue to fan my brakes, and in between 20 and 40 PSI, both spring brake knobs should pop out. They both pop. Sometimes that red one will pop and not the yellow, so just make sure that yellow one pops. Alright, I am in between 20 and 40 PSI and both of my spring brakes did pop out. So that passes that inspection. Now that I've bled all my air pressure off, I'm going to do another safe start. Make sure my truck is in neutral. My key is already on. I'm going to crank it up. I'm going to idle it up. Then the next phase, after I start my truck, I'm going to look at my top air pressure gauge, and when it reaches 50 PSI, I'm going to release my trailer brake. And there's 50. So you may have to hold that in for a little bit. It's staying in. Now while the rest of the air pressure is building, I'm going to work on some in-cab inspection. So we start with the floor. I want to say there's nothing loose rolling around on the floor that could get underneath my pedals. Next, I'm going to go to the fire extinguisher, which is 4 things you want to say about it. It's securely mounted, the tag is up to date, the gauge says it's fully charged, and the safety pin is in place. Then we're going to talk about our 3 emergency triangles, which are underneath the passenger seat. Then we have spare fuses in the fuse box. And then, you don't have to open it. And just tell them it's in there. Then we're going to go to our mirrors next. For the mirrors, they're securely mounted, not cracked, damaged, or broken. Clean and clear and properly adjusted for me. Next, we're going to go to all our glass. And all of our glass is clean and clear. It's not cracked, damaged, or broken. And it's free of any illegal stickers. Next, we're going to come down to our steering wheel. For the steering wheel, I want to make sure that it has no more than 10 degrees or 2 inches of play. While I'm here, I'm going to beat my horns, make sure that they work. And from there, I'm going to move into my gauges. They'd like you to point to each gauge so you know what you're talking about. I'm going to talk about our oil pressure gauge. It's reading good pressure. It's working fine. My water temperature is reading normal temperature. It's working fine. My tachometer rose up when I idled up the truck. It's working fine. And my speedometer will check when we do our service brake test. Both of my air gauges are climbing and they are functioning properly. My fuel gauge shows that we have enough fuel for the day. It is working properly. Our voltmeter is reading a good charge at 14 volts. And at this point, I'm going to check my indicator lights. My left turn signal indicator is working. My right turn signal indicator is working. My emergency flashers are working. I want to turn my headlights on and make sure that my bright light indicator is working. Then right next to my light switch here, I'm just going to hold the bottom button in, and that's going to give it a squirt and make sure that my windshield wipers are working. Next, I would come over here and turn this over to heat and defrost, turn the fan on high, put my hand up here and down here to make sure that it's working properly. Then I'm going to move over here to my spring brake knobs. I want to say they're securely mounted, not cracked, damaged, or broken. This is an air valve, so we want to make sure there's no leaks. Then from there, we're going to go back down to the floor, talk about our shifter boot. It's securely fastened to the floor. There's no holes or damage or any rips in it that would allow exhaust gas to enter the cab. Then we're going to check our shifter arm that it's securely mounted, not cracked, damaged, or broken. And the last thing, before we do the next phase of the brake test, you guys click the splitter up and down to make sure that it's functioning. Now at this point, my air pressure is still building. We're waiting for the governor to spit, and then we'll do the next phase of the brake test, which is going to be the tug test. It should be popping off here. Did it pop?
Yeah.
Okay, I heard the governor pop. Our tractor brake is set, our trailer brake is released, so I'm going to put it in gear and give it a tug to make sure the brakes are holding. And that one's holding, so I want to set my trailer, release my tractor. Now I'm going to tug on the trailer brakes. And the trailer brakes are holding as well. Now I'm going to release both my parking brakes. I want to have both hands on the wheel. I think I need to turn my wheel straight. I'm going to get it up to 5 miles an hour and apply my service brakes. There's 5 miles an hour. Apply my brakes. Tell the examiner when I applied my brakes, my steering wheel did not pull left or right. And also too, my speedometer did rise to 5 miles an hour and it's working properly. And that completes my in-cab inspection and brake test. Now we're going to do the door back inspection. That's far enough. Okay, you can pause it if you want and then walk around over here and we'll do the door back inspection.